Oh, a little different music. Nice. Thank you very much, and good evening. Welcome to Rudy's here at Slide and the South Loop. Glad that you are with us tonight here on the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield. As over the next hour, the lady of the hour has just walked in the door. All right, over the course of the next hour, we're going to talk Lady Raider basketball. Tech off to a 9-1 start. Yes, put those hands together. Absolutely. Great start to the season as Tech winning last night, defeating Oral Roberts by a final of 82-68. Over the course of the hour, we'll talk about the season so far. We'll talk a little bit about the roster makeup. We might even talk the foreign trip. And we've got tickets ahoy to give away. Stocking stuffers extraordinaire tonight. Come by, see us here at Rudy's. We've got tickets for the McNeese State game on Monday night and next Thursday night, or Thursday afternoon rather, against Cal Riverside before the break. So we'll have all that for you. We'll also visit with Tech sophomore guard Riley McKinney a little bit later in the hour. But right now, put your hands together as we welcome in the head coach, Coach Krista Gerlich. Coach, good evening.
Hello.
How are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
I tell you what.
I'm just, like, on two wheels.
Two wheels
turning in here, yep. And I'm going to blame it on Jamie because she was in front of me, like, driving too slow the entire time.
Right.
Jamie Mills. Like, right from my driveway, the whole way. She could have just gotten in the car with me.
Right, it could have. Right, exactly. Hey, it feels good to be 9-1, does it not?
It does, absolutely, always.
You know, when you come into the start of the year, I know you don't ever look at, okay, what's my record going to be after X number of games? Because you always want it to be with a 0 on the right-hand side. But I know you have to be so pleased with the way your team has played and won in different ways so far.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, when we put the schedule together, we thought it would be challenging. We thought that there would be games that we could get all of our roster on the floor as well. But we definitely wanted to be challenged in some different areas and with different lineups and different styles of basketball and against some really good teams that had tournament experience from last year. So I'm really pleased with where we are. I want us to finish really strong these next 3 games before we start Big 12 play. But I'm really happy, and I know we can still get a lot better.
Let's talk a little bit about last night's game against Oral Roberts. You couldn't have gotten off to a better start, up 12-0, up 12 at the end of one. Second quarter, you had to kind of go with some little bit different lineup combinations because of foul trouble. And, hey, I mean, right now is the time where you've got to look at some different combinations. But second half, really kind of put your foot on the gas and really kind of pulled away a little bit and never really let Oral Roberts get too close, but yet it wasn't comfortable. But I think so. In that respect, I think it was a really good game last night.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very pretty, and it wasn't in some aspects where I wanted us to be. I wanted us to really play well after the finals break that we had, since we had 8 days. But at the same time, I did like our start. I thought our start was a lot better. We've got everybody healthy that we can have healthy at this moment, so I'm excited about that. And I thought that, we did get some different kids in there and some different situations, and against a defense that was changing on us. They played man to begin with, and we attacked them really well. They went to a kind of a matchup zone that gave us a little bit of trouble, that made us be a little bit more passive than I wanted us to be. But I did think that we figured some things out, still turning the ball over way too much, but I thought that our kids grinded it out, and we had some kids hit some big shots in the second half to kind of give us some breathing room.
Well, I think those two being Bree Scott and Riley McKinney last night. Bree, I thought, as we talked in the postgame last night, I thought her most consistent game of the year, not just with 24 points, but the fact that it wasn't like 15 in one quarter and then 3 here, there, and the other 3. I mean, it was 5-6 points every quarter.
Yeah, I thought her confidence level was really good last night. That's probably the most consistent she's been, and even her stamina I thought was the most consistent it's been, because I think that's been an issue a little bit as well. So I thought that she was aggressive. I thought she was confident in her shot, that she was looking for her shot. I thought she tried to defend as well as pretty well against some pretty good guards. And I didn't think I thought she had 3 turnovers, I think, to end the game, but I didn't think she turned the ball over very much at all, really. And I can remember one being a double dribble that was kind of a weird call, and then I believe she might have charged once or something. But I thought, other than that, I thought she was very consistent.
When we, I guess before we talk about each player on the roster, kind of give me your thought on how you feel like your 5 seniors have handled that role of leadership.
Yeah, I think our 5 seniors have done a good job. I think that they've each been thrown into some different scenarios. A couple of them have had to deal with injuries, which that's been, that's always hard to do, and you certainly don't want to be injured your senior year. I think we've asked a couple of them to play a million different positions and defend and do some different things than what they probably, would really want to do in their perfect senior year. But what I love about all 5 of them is that they're willing to do whatever we ask them to do to help us win. And that's the most important thing, especially when you're a senior. I put something on their board the other day, or a little quote or something that said, freshmen want to get on the court, sophomores want to play, juniors want to start, and seniors want to win. And I think that's exactly what our senior class, I feel like, is what they're giving us, is they want to win basketball games, and they'll do whatever they need to do and help whoever they need to help to do that.
Let's talk about each one a little bit here. Let's start with one of the newcomers in the Big Cat, Katie Farrell, a player that's had to deal with injury like you talked about, missed 7 of the first 10 games with that broken hand. But, boy, you just can tell a difference in the way the team plays and just a lot of the intangible things that she brings to this team when she's on the floor.
Yeah, she, we're glad to have her back, no doubt about it. And she's so versatile. She can be a point guard, she can be a 5 player, and anywhere in between. She can also defend those people for us. What I love about her is that she can defend on the inside and rebound and then lead the break, because she does have a really, really knack for passing the basketball and seeing the floor. She hasn't played enough with us to know all of the ins and outs of what we want offensively. And so she's getting there, and especially the different spots that we're trying to play her in. But just her grittiness, her toughness, her experience at playing in big games all helps us tremendously. There's not going to be anybody on our team or on the other team or our opponent's team that gets on the floor more than she does or plays as hard as she does. So that's just great to have.
No question. Another of your seniors, Tatum Weitenheimer, in her second year here, early in her career at Oklahoma, I think she scored a little more than she's done here, but, boy, she's been so steady, doesn't turn the ball over much, a real cerebral, smart player.
Yeah, she's doing some things that, I'm sure coming off the bench isn't how she viewed her senior year, but I think that she's giving us some stability when she does that. She's given us some consistency. She's making things happen on the defensive end for us, taking charges, maybe getting on the floor after a loose ball, doing some of those things. And last night she was being much more vocal than she has been in the past, which we need her to be. And I really liked that. I know there was one instance that we were trying to run 5 out late in the game and needed to take good shots, and she was yelling, take good shots, take good shots, take good shots. And about that time, Riley shot a layup, and she goes, good shot, Riley. And I was like, that's exactly right. That's what we were looking for. So I think she's doing a really good job, and I'm really proud of just the work that she's done in the offseason to be able to have a contributing senior year.
You talk about that, and I know that's something you talked to Chuck and I about, going into last night's game, coming out of the break, talking about the importance of knowing what a good shot is versus the best shot or a great shot, and kind of speak to that a little bit.
Yeah, we worked a lot on that this week and just really talked about it and showed film on it. Our team we have really good shooters. We have really good scorers, but sometimes our shot selection isn't great, and so our production isn't. And I think when we make the extra pass, or maybe we just are a little bit more patient, I think we're going to get really good shots. This team is cerebral in that they're smart. They can run an offense, and they know what the next offensive play looks like, or what shot we're trying to get. And when we really execute and set our kids up, we score almost every time. Our efficiency is really, really good. And I tell our kids all the time that, this team can really shoot the three ball. And if they get their feet set and we deliver it to them when they're expecting it, that's almost like a layup to me. In my eyes, I feel like we shoot the three well enough that it's almost like a layup. And I'm okay with that shot, even early in the shot clock, if it's their feet are set, if it's a shot we're expecting to take. In the Sam Houston game, and this was probably because of the way they were guarding us, and they pressed us, and we broke it pretty easily. And so every time we got it across half court, we had a break of some sort, whether it was 3-on-2 or 4-on-3. And whoever had it in their hands, I think we dribbled up and shot it like 8 times and didn't make it. And we don't do that. Like, we don't dribble up and shoot very often, I mean, there's times for that to happen, but we did it 8 times in the first half, where when we showed them film, we had an extra pass to make where it could have been somebody had their feet set, and really be in rhythm.
Well, talk a little bit about the importance, and I think out of teams that are excellent, one of the things that you see is not panicking and being able to do things. Not so much like an Oral Roberts team like to really push and do stuff in the first 6 to 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to disparage them at all. Well, but my point is the best teams are the ones, sure, if you can do that, that's great. But to me, don't panic and be able to do something in the last 10 seconds if something's not there initially. Don't get frustrated. Keep working, because something will come up.
For sure. And we talked to our kids about that, and about being disciplined and getting the shot that we want. We want paint touches, whether that's the ball attacking the paint or a post touch inside. We always get better looks if a post player touches it or if the ball gets to the paint. We want reversals. And our kids know, like, there are certain sets that we run or certain looks, even in our transition off of a missed shot, that if we can score it quick, we want to. If it's a good shot,
Sure.
We want to do that. That's fun to do. But we also want to work for a good shot if we don't have something early. And I think that this team can do that. I think they know that within the offense what comes next, and they know when, like, it's under 10, that the next screen has to be really, really good, or the next pass has to be really, really good, the next cut, whatever it is. And we talk about those things a lot.
It is 6:12 here on the Texas Tech Sports Network, here from Rudy's at Slide and the South Loop. Glad that you're with us on this Thursday night. We're going to come back. We're going to continue our visit with the head coach. We're going to talk more about this year's team, and we'll talk a little bit later on about the next opponent, McNeese State. But right now we're going to take our opening timeout, come back and have more here at Rudy's at Slide and the South Loop when we come back after this timeout on the Tech Sports Network from Learfield. Thanks, sir. All right, how much do we have left in this break? 35 seconds, okay. Okay, very good, thank you. And then I'll do, when we come back, we'll have the highlight, I'll do a live read, and then we'll roll. Sounds good. Okay. Now, do you hear the commercial
Yes.
right now? Okay. Thanks, sir. As that was the block at the end of regulation in one of the biggest wins of the year up to this point in the Colorado game in the middle of November. As Mega Basketball move over to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Enjoy 100% Hill Country smoked meats, Rudy's signature sauce, and delicious sides. As we continue our visit with the head coach, Coach Krista Gerlich. And before we start talking about the roster, to me that game against Colorado, coming off the one loss you had and the way that the team responded less than 24 hours later, I thought just spoke volumes to, hey, flush it and let's go to the next one and not let it compound.
Yeah, I think it definitely propelled us into the run that we're having right now. I mean, I think that we grew up a lot right before, everybody's eyes, I think, from one game to the next. And even within that game, because we were down, I think, by 16 against Colorado and fought our way back. And so our kids utilized that even when we went to Vegas and played those two games. I think that we had to show a lot of guts to be able to get those wins as well. So, yes, I think that game particularly has really helped us, and we will continue to lean on it throughout the season.
Let's talk some about some of the other seniors and the rest of the roster here. Ella Tofeono, in her second year here, has a double-figure game. Up until, she's kind of had a little up and down, but recently has started playing better.
She has. She went through an injury this summer that really, knocked her off her game. She had such a great spring and really excited about, playing some of her best basketball. And then she was in a cast for 15 weeks. And that's tough. It was tough on her mentally. Obviously, it was tough on her physically. And so it's taken a little while to get back. She came back and had a little bit of success and then was really struggling with fouling. She was fouling a lot in those early games and just trying to get back into game mode, I think. She didn't get to go to Greece with us, so that was a thing too, Mm-hmm. So I think that she is now figuring out how to stay on the floor a little bit longer. She's starting to be more productive, and we need her to be. We need Ella to have a big year, and I'm proud of her for continuing to fight through that and to take her role as it is right now and to just keep working and trying to get herself back into that starting lineup.
Well, a player that she can use as an example is Bree Scott, who missed 21 games last year because of the foot, and yet she came back. She's played in 8 so far this year and really given you a lot. Yeah,
absolutely. I think that Bree, had a really tough time last year, and even over the summer for her, she was really, questioning, gosh, am I just going to continue to be hurt? And she's taken advantage of the opportunities that she's had. I think her mind is in a really, really good space right now. That she's very confident. She's enjoying her senior year. I heard her say that last night on the post game that she's just having fun. That she's really loving her teammates. She knows her coaches have a lot of confidence in her, and she's just enjoying the moment. And I think that all those seniors need to kind of take a page from that book and know that, that's how really everybody needs to take a page from that book. That's how the game's supposed to be played, and not to try to put a lot of pressure on yourself or be too disappointed, but continue to just, play your game, and the next play is the best play.
And for her, kind of like Big Cat, the fact that she's had to play 3, 4, even 5 for you a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah. We've asked her to play a lot of spots, and I gave her a hard time the other day because she got her double-double, and I said, if you weren't playing the 4, you probably wouldn't get a double-double because you wouldn't go in there and rebound if that was the case. So, so there's always some good things that happen when you're versatile. And, it really helps us when she does play that 4 because it stretches our defense out, and she can go or stretches their defense out, and she can go all the way to the 3-point line and shoot it over the top of people. And she's getting some great downhill drives from the high post. So I think that's been really good for her.
Had 4 threes in the win last night. Of course, Bryn, the only player now with year 3, obviously her coming in. And how special is it for you and Bryn and your relationship and being able to coach her these 3 years?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, it's been a difficult journey, one that I don't think I could have gotten through without her, and I'm not sure she could have gotten through without me just because of some of the circumstances that she's had to go through. But at the same time, I think she has gained a lot of confidence in herself over last year, played some of her best basketball last year, and I think that she's had to step in this year thinking she was going to play her true position. And she's done the same thing that Bree has. She's played the 1, she's played the 5, she's played the 4. She's played her true position, the 3, maybe once, but
right.
But just gives us a lot of stability and holds us together. And the fact that she can play all those spots, I think, just helps our team because, there for a while we were starting a 5-guard lineup because we had 5 kids that could really score. And that's where we were getting some of our best looks, especially for some of the matchups that we've had early. It's going to be difficult to do moving into the Big 12, as we know, because the Big 12 has some really great inside players that we're going to have to be able to match up with. But I think that because of Bryn's versatility and her knowledge of being in the program for 3 years has really aided us in being able to put different lineups on the floor.
As we start looking at some of the other underclassmen, you have just one junior in Jazz Lewis, and talk about the fact that she's given you 5 double-doubles. But to me, of all the things that she's done, just when you look at the stats, you look at all the other things, to me, free throw shooting for a big is so key, because if you're inside, you're going to get hacked. It came into this season under 50% in her career. She's shooting over 70% at the line this year.
Mark, if you jinx her,
no,
we're gonna have an issue with you. No, she has a beautiful shot.
She does.
But she has a really good touch on the ball, and I think we've seen her hit some really big shots this year already. But yeah, the fact that she can go to the free throw line and knock those down when she gets beat up on, because I think people are going to have to foul her to stop her. Because she's so strong inside and has such good hands. And I think our guards are doing a good job of getting her the ball in position to score where she doesn't have to make a lot of moves. Last night was tough because they were doubling and tripling at times when she caught the basketball, and we were putting her in some difficult situations. And we talked about that at halftime. We talked about it in some timeouts about giving her angles and waiting or moving the ball until you had that angle so that she could just catch and score. And I thought that we did a much better job of that in the second half.
Among the sophomores on this team, we'll talk with Riley McKinney here in a few minutes, but she's been obviously one of your most consistent players, your leading scorer, but I look at a lot of other things in her game. Her ball handling and just the mental part of the game is so strong.
Absolutely. Of course, she's such a high IQ player and so fundamentally sound. She's somebody that every time she shoots the basketball, we think the whole bench thinks it's going in, and we have so much confidence in her. And I think she's really done such a great job this spring and summer and even this fall of wanting to be a better defensive player. I know she knows that is a part of her game that she had to get better at, and she's really taken that to heart and tried really hard to become a good defensive player, and she has. I think she had 3 steals last night.
Yeah, I think they're all like in about 3 minutes.
Yeah, somebody said they were running through passing lanes, and no, she picked 2 pockets,
right
in front of her, right? So I'm really proud of her for that. And then, the other piece that I think people are going to have to recognize too is that she has such big offensive games for us early, that the scout, of course, is going to be focused on her. I mean, I think we've got such balanced scoring that's going to be difficult for people to do, but early it definitely was Riley McKinney. You've got to stop her. So she's going to be garnering the toughest defensive player on the other team. And I think people need to realize that, like, sometimes when her scoring output or even her shots aren't as many as they are in the past, sometimes it's because she's occupying the toughest defender. And you're going to see that a lot in the Big 12, and we're going to continue to work to try to get her the basketball. And I know because other people will step up and score, attention will start going elsewhere. But that's something that's tough to do when you're a scorer at the level that Riley is a scorer at. It's hard to not go, man, I'm not, to panic and like I'm not getting touches or I'm not getting shots off. And I think that's what she's done really, really well this year. Is I believe the game that she went 100%, was that Sam Houston?
Yes.
7 for 7?
I think,
no.
yes.
Who was it? Alabama State.
Oh, right.
She did not, I don't think she got a shot off in the first quarter.
She did not.
She did not get a shot off in the first quarter, but was patient. She still did other things for us, besides even just occupying the best defender. I mean, she made great passes. She played great defense. She set great screens. And then the second, third, and fourth quarters, she was 100%, 7 for 7. I think 5 for 5 from the three-point line or something like
19
that.
19 points, yep.
That's incredibly hard to do if you're not a mentally tough player. And so I just love her mental focus and how she stays locked in and she doesn't panic when she's not getting the offensive production that maybe she thinks that she needs to get or that we think she needs to get,
right.
But she keeps working.
Saga Ukkonen is one that showed all kinds of hard work paying off. She started the first 2 games, and she played in crunch time last night.
She did, yep. And that's what I love about Saga is, and she's told me before, she's like, Coach, you never will have to worry about me being upset about playing time or upset about you coaching me hard or whatever the case may be. Like, she truly wants to just help however she can. And she works so incredibly hard that, you want to give her that opportunity. And, I mean, the thing is with Saga, like, she's just playing on a really good basketball team that has some really good guards. And so her minutes are inconsistent, but it's not really because of what Saga's doing. It's more of what our team is doing, and we're just, or maybe who we're playing. But she's somebody that I feel very comfortable putting her in crunch time situations, and she's going to perform and give you your best effort.
And I'm going to look at something here real quick on Saga. I'm going to look at the stat sheet here. Okay, she's played 83 minutes this year. I mean, that's equivalent of over 2 full games, 2 turnovers. That's it.
Yeah, that's great.
That's
really, really good for her, yep.
Lana Winger, 6'4" sophomore, a player that at times last year had a hard time getting on the floor, but she had been out of the game for a while and comes in this year, gives you some big minutes in the Colorado win, and is a player that's long, lean, and can really distract.
Yes, and Lana's going to just keep getting better. She had a really good spring and summer as well. When we got back from Greece, she was sick and was out for probably a week, and that really hindered her because of just her strength alone. I think that's what she did so well this spring and summer is got in the weight room and got stronger and got physically tougher, and then she had a setback, and I just hated that for her because it was out of her control, but so she's just kind of getting back there. We're really talking to Lana about rebounding the basketball, like rebound the basketball and you're going to get minutes. Defend and you're going to get minutes. And she's doing those things, and she's going to get better and better and better on the offensive end. And again, it's just experience. It's the physicality of things, and she's going to continue to get those opportunities. And
the last sophomore before we take our next time out, Ashley Chevalier, a transfer from Texas. And boy, Ash, she offensively, she hasn't had a spectacular game yet. But to me, she's another one of those that comes in gritty, really can guard maybe the opponent's best defender, really smart, and really kind of a pest, for lack of a better term. And I mean that in a really, really good way.
Absolutely, yeah. She loves to do that. Like, she loves the role of picking up the ball in full court or really harassing the ball handler, almost to a fault sometimes because she does foul a little bit. When she gets in there, she's so reared up to go that she fouls early, and I think she's learning how to maybe take a step back from that. And she only knows one speed.
Yep.
And that's 100 miles an hour, which is great at times, but I know that she's going to continue to get better and more comfortable about what we're needing her to do and wanting her to do. We have tried to shift her over to the 2-guard spot a little bit more, just to take some of that responsibility off of her of running the offense and being more about defensive oriented. And our system, the 2-guard picks the ball up in the full court. So that's allowed her that opportunity to come in and do that. So I think that's going to help her some as well while she learns the point guard position.
Sure. Well, a little bit later on, we're going to talk about the freshmen on this year's team, but when we come back, we're going to visit with sophomore guard Riley McKinney here at Rudy's at Slide in the South Loop. When we come back after this timeout, you bet put those hands together here on the Tech Sports Network from Learfield. Okay, Riley, do you hear me right now in your headset? All right. All right, you talk to me right now.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, do you hear me?
Yeah.
I hear you. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay. What I'll do is I'll bring you up here when we come back from commercial. So your mic is off until we come back from commercial.
Okay.
Do what?
I said that was a lot.
No. Thank you.
I heard it.
As that was the highlight there against Colorado, which Riley McKinney is part of that 16-point comeback as we're here at Rudy's at Slide in the South Loop talking Lady Raider basketball here until the top of the hour here at 6:35. Right now, we do have, as promised, sophomore guard from Argyle, Texas, the SMU transfer, in her second year here. Put your hands together for Riley McKinney. Riley, good evening. How are you?
Good, good.
I tell you what, tell me about your feelings on the expanded role that you have on this team this year.
It feels really good with my role this year. Coach Gerlich has poured a lot of confidence into me from last year to this year. She is constantly telling me in practice to shoot the ball more. I pass it up all the time. So she's on me to shoot the ball more. She knows I can do a lot for this team. And I went in and met with her early this year and let her know that I want to be a big leader for this team. And I was going to do whatever it takes. And that starts on the defensive end. So I take pride in that role. I want to be a good defensive player because that just helps my team overall.
Okay, she passes it up too much, but she's only scored in double figures in 8 of 10 games this year. I just let the stats speak for themselves. I'm gonna take you back a minute, and I don't know if you'll remember this, but in Kansas City last year at the Big 12 championships, after the Oklahoma State game, Chuck and I, we wrap up, we walk out, and for those of you that aren't familiar, Municipal Auditorium was actually there's like a long hall that's connected, and it was actually connected to the hotel we were staying at. And Chuck and I, we wrap stuff up, and we're walking out, and I see one player. It was you. And you were in tears for obvious reasons. You didn't want your season to end that way. I get it. And Chuck and I both thought there's going to be something that happens with this young lady this year for her sophomore year. Do you remember that moment and what that meant to you in your off season getting ready for this year?
Yes, for sure. I'm a very competitive person. I hate to lose. It eats me alive. And so from the moment we lost that game all summer, it just was something that prided me to know that I have to work harder in practice, work harder in the weight room, do everything that I can to help this team because I just want to win for this program and for the fans. We get so much love and support here, and so I want to show the fans that we've been working and that we could go back and win a national championship. I mean, they've done it here before. Coach Gerlich's done it. She has the experience. And so ever since then, I think I've just had this grit and this mindset that I know we could do it, and I want to win so bad.
There you go. Hey, I love it. I absolutely love it. Hey, take me through some of your personal goals and some of your team goals for this year.
Personal goals, I obviously wanted to get better on the defensive end. It's something Coach Gerlich talked to me about before, and to just get a lot stronger. I obviously went through a major surgery in the summertime. I had to get that done, so it took a few steps back from me. And so ever since then, I just wanted to get in the weight room and get bigger. I wanted to be a big guard. And I want to be stronger for this team so I could do a lot more for everybody. And team goals, man, I want to win a conference championship. I want to make the tournament. I want to win a national championship. I want to win it all. I'm just so determined to do it for these fans and this program and definitely for Coach Gerlich.
Tell me what it was like in the Sam Houston game with 13,000 people in the arena and what that was like.
It was awesome. I never experienced something like that before. We've obviously gone to the men's games and got to see it, and so for it to happen for the Lady Raiders, it was insane. And I just hope that we could get that again and get more fans in there every game. And we try to do that for everybody and just show everybody that we can play good Lady Raider basketball. And I just love when people come and watch us. It was super fun.
I want you to share a little bit because in a game like that where there's that many people in the arena, and for those of you that don't know, I want you to share your story about your hearing and kind of take us through all of that and how in an environment like that, how you got to be even more focused.
Yes, I actually wear 2 hearing aids. I have 5% hearing in both ears. And so it's been hard playing college basketball because it can be so loud at so many games. But definitely that game was eye-opening for me. I remember I was looking up at my mom, and I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, it was crazy. But I had asked Coach Gerlich before the game, like, is there signs that we can have? And they had already made signs because they know it's going to be loud. And it had colors for the certain plays. And then Bryn Gerlich, my roomie, she came up to me and she was like, I'm going to be looking at you all the time. Like, just look at me. I'll tell you every single play. I'll sign it for you. She's working on the sign language.
Wow.
So she's just always there for me. And so are the other teammates and the coaches were. Everybody was just constantly looking at me because it was hard for me with the background noise. But if I make eye contact with you, it's easier for me.
That's tremendous. That's to overcome something like that. Were you ever told, Riley, you can't do it?
Yeah, for sure. When I was young, my doctors would always tell my parents I wouldn't be able to do certain things, but it never bothered me. It just kind of made me more determined. And I think it's fun proving people wrong. And so I think it's fun when I can do this stuff and my doctors see it. They sometimes think it's not the best for me, but I enjoy it.
I tell you what, I have a story I'll share with you sometime about my journey and how somebody told me at one time you can't, and to be able to say you can. Before we let you go, kind of want a couple of quick things from you. All right, favorite snack?
My favorite snack, I would say I really like Cheeto Puffs and Lay's chips.
Okay. The one thing you do off the court that you like the most is what?
I like to watch Netflix shows. I'm currently watching Dead to Me, and I just finished Blacklist. Highly recommend.
All right, there you go. Riley, you're awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Put your hands together. Riley McKinney. Riley, thanks so much. Appreciate you. We're going to take a time out here at Rudy's at Slide in the South Loop. The time is 6:41. We'll visit with Coach Gerlich, and we'll take your questions. You have questions out there. You've got question forms. Now is the time to bring those up, and Coach will answer your questions, and we'll talk a little bit about McNeese State, the opponent, on Monday when we come back after this timeout of the Texas Tech Sports Network from Learfield. Thank you, sir. Well, and it was good as we welcome you back here at Rudy's at Slide in the South Loop as that ended the first quarter last night against Oral Roberts. Make a basketball move here to Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue. Enjoy 100% Hill Country smoked meats, Rudy's signature sauce, and delicious sides. And don't forget, here at Rudy's, they've got 3.5-pound turkeys and 7-pound hams, cold or hot, for your Christmas dinner, your Christmas get-together. Come by here at Rudy's. Coach, doesn't that sound great?
It sounds delicious.
It does, no doubt. As they've got those turkeys and hams, you can call them. If you're here in the Hub City, 806-797-1777. 797-1777. You can get them cold or hot. Glad that you're here with us at Rudy's as we're talking Lady Raider basketball tech at 9-1 here on the season. And as we welcome Coach Gerlich back. And, Coach, we got to talk about your three freshmen. The one that we just heard the highlight on, Kyla Freelon, comes in last night. I mean, it was like a perfect scenario for her to come in right at the end of the quarter and get that basket. And just talk a little bit about the athleticism that she brings to this team.
Well, her athleticism is off the charts. I mean, she can run like a deer. She can, jump out of the gym. And the other piece of Kyla that is fantastic is her work ethic. She works incredibly hard and just is a sponge. She's just soaking it all up. She doesn't have a lot of game experience. I mean, even from, playing from high school and whatnot. I mean, she was a three-sport athlete, and she played in the summer, but it wasn't, the circuit that they play on. So she's just learning so much and just learning how to adjust to the college game. But man, she's just off the charts, and she's going to be so good. And I just love that. What we tell them, any opportunity you get, you take advantage of it. I mean, that last night she had 2 seconds, right? She had 2 seconds, and she took great opportunity or take advantage of it.
Right, to get that basket last night at the end of the first quarter. Your other two freshmen have both been recognized by the Big 12 so far this year as Freshman of the Week. Jazz Shavers, the freshman out of Mesquite Horn, has started at times for you and played outstanding in Las Vegas.
She did. I'm so proud for her to it's like a light bulb just came on with her, during the season. We've really been talking to her about her defense because Jasmine is clearly an offensive player. She can absolutely shoot the basketball, has a great feel for it. For her shot is fantastic. But we really needed her and knew that she would be a great defensive basketball player for us. So we've really been challenging her with that. And I think she probably learned in the first couple of games that, they're for real. If I don't play defense, I'm not going to play. And so she learned that very quickly, thank goodness. And thank goodness she learned it when she got to Vegas, right? Because she did. She had 2 phenomenal games. Really, it was great to see the ball go through the basket for her. Also, she learned, too, that, the offense is going to – the ball's going to find her in the offense, and it's going to create some shots for her, and she doesn't always have to create those shots with the ball in her hands. And I think that's really important for her because she does have such a great shot that she's just learned how to continue to be confident, and she's trusting her teammates and the offense a lot more.
And Bailey Maupin, the freshman out of Groover, highly touted Miss Texas basketball in the state a year ago. I tell you what, she had a 27-point game out there in Vegas against Mercer, had 4 threes in a win against Colorado. I mean, she's played really well so far.
She has. She can really score the basketball. And again, another one that we're, training to be a great defensive basketball player and just learning how to do that. And she's obviously more than capable with her athletic ability. But what I love about Bailey is her explosiveness. She has another gear, she can really get from point A to point B in a hurry. She is can really jump. I mean, last night she got a offensive rebound in the first quarter that she was very close to the rim, I felt like, when she got it. And she can shoot the ball. I mean, she is definitely a West Texas, been in the gym her whole life, knows how to shoot the basketball. And so, we're seeing glimpses of greatness. And it's funny that it's not funny, it's incredible that she's already had a 27-point game. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's just fantastic. But I have to tell you that I also think that that's a tribute to her teammates as well, that, her teammates don't care if it's a freshman, if it's a sophomore, if it's, if who it is that's having the hot hand or having the big night or can score for us. Like, they just want to score and they want our team to do well. And I think that our team has done a good job of finding them and putting them in positions to be successful. And it's going to be a great ride with Bailey and Jasmine and Kyla, to be quite honest. Those three kids are going to be great for Lady Raider basketball for the next 4 years.
Oh, no question about it. And that's your team
Yeah.
for this year. And the fact that you played all 13 of them last night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know we didn't talk about JoJo, who's another.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
yes.
another key component, but that is out right now, and that's clearly why you forgot to mention her. But she's going to be fabulous for us too, and she's just going through some medical things right now that we'll take care of, and she'll be back. But man, she's going to be so much fun when we have her on the floor as well.
Oh, no doubt. At 6'4" and can definitely create length, and she's another player that can step out and knock the three, can score at the mid-range, can score at the three line.
Yes, and can run the floor.
Yes.
Really defends, and she works really, really hard. She plays hard. And she gets after it. And she wants to learn. And I hate that she had her injury when it came, because she was becoming so confident and just really it's starting to make sense to her what we were asking her to do. But the future's bright. The future's definitely bright. I mean, this year's bright too, but I'm excited about when she gets back and ready to play.
We're going to come back, have some final thoughts with Coach Gerlich when we come back here. Rudy's at Slide in the South Loop on the Tech Sports Network from Learfield. Thank you. Oh, yes. Yes, hey, two things here. All right. I want to do something real quick here. All right, tell me when it gets to 6:54. Because that'll tell me how much time I got left to get for the close. Yes. So I'm showing 6:53 right now. Okay, thank you, sir. Because we'll hit it at 57:47, right? And it's perfect. That's what I needed. Thank you, sir.
Do not ask that question. They're just poking fun.
I can't read that question. Not that it's not G-rated, but I can't ask it on the air. Off the air, I'll say never. We'll have probably about a minute and a half. It won't be long.
Okay.
Let's see. What do I got here? I got big. All right, we got to highlight a big cat when we come back, and then have you obviously you've looked at these some.
Cybersecurity is a growing concern for all businesses. At CTSI, we remind you to implement cyber defense solutions to protect you. Call CTSI today and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation. We'll create a roadmap that's customized for you and secure your business. CTSI is a Lubbock-built, operates its own company with a second location in Amarillo. For 37 years, we've served the Texas Panhandle, West Texas, the Permian Basin, and Eastern Mexico. And we work every day to earn your business. Call CTSI now at 806-793-8961 or go to ctsinet.com.
Hey, those of you in the house here, make sure you come get tickets. Make sure you get tickets before you leave tonight. Make sure you get tickets before you leave tonight, because we got them for Monday and Thursday. All right, now. You want that one? Okay. Oh, wow, really, we only have about a minute here. 30 seconds. All right, so we come back. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, we're going to have less than a minute. All right. As that the big cat with a layup last night as Texas Tech beats Oral Roberts 82-68. As we're back for some final thoughts here, your host is Mismanaged Time Coach. We don't have enough time to get into a couple of questions here, but I'll save them for 2 weeks from tonight on the 29th when we're back. How about that?
Perfect.
All right. Hey, real quick, 2 games before the break here in about 20 seconds. Most important thing you want to see going into the Christmas break is what?
People in the stands for Lady Raider basketball games. We want to pack it, and we want to have some great momentum going into the break. So I just want to see some consistencies, hard effort, great basketball.
All right. There you go. We've got tickets here. Come by and get them on your way out. Coach, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And for everyone
Thank
involved,
you.
for Dylan Riggs at Network Control, I'm Mark Finkner. Monday night, Tech, McNeese. Be there, 6:30 pregame, 7 o'clock tip here on the Tech Sports Network. Good night, everybody. Hey, Dylan, great job, buddy. Thank you so much.